Hello, and you are listening to FPcast, the podcast for Fruitless Pursuits, where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I am Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we are talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics.
Yes, Rogue One. Holy crap. So this is a movie set before the events of A New Hope. So...
Yes, so between episodes 3 and 4.
Yes.
Yes.
Closer to 4, though.
Definitely closer to 4.
Nudging right up against 4.
Yeah.
And
backing right up and grinding on it.
And the rebels know that the Imperials have some sort of super weapon, and they want to know more about it. They want to find out what's all this about, and they send off some rogues, some rebels, on a mission to find out more about this thing. And it stars Felicity Jones from The Theory of Everything, and she was in The Amazing Spider-Man, playing Felicia, who would have become Black Cat had...
Okay. Was she in Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man?
I don't remember.
I haven't seen the second one.
I think the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was in... I was looking at her IMDb last night, and she was in a movie called Chalet Girl, which I went, oh my god, I've totally seen that. When I have not actually seen it, I think I've seen the trailer about 400 times for whatever reason. It's very, very bad, and I am, look, I'm on board. The Star Wars people, they know what they're doing with their casting, but they cast Chalet Girl as the lead in their new movie.
Well, she was in The Theory of Everything. That was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, but she wasn't the main card there.
Okay. Well, she is now.
Okay, yes.
Everybody, this is the great thing. She's playing a character called Jyn Erso. Mm-hmm. And I love this when we get a new Star Wars name, because when you first say it, one, you're going, who's this actor, what's the deal, etc. Okay, Felicity Jones is playing Jyn Erso in a Star Wars thing, and it just sounds like absolute gubbins. Mm-hmm. It's just gibberish. Yep. It's like fan fiction. But, a year from now, that's going to be very iconic. We're going to be like, of course, Jyn Erso, Felicity Jones is Jyn Erso. What a character.
I mean, as the years go on, we're going to have so many names to remember, like crazy, weird names.
Yeah, like, I don't even have all my Force Awakens ones down.
Yeah, and if we think that, remembering 3 movies worth of back-scene aliens and crazy storylines and stuff was hard, man, wait till we get like 15 of the damn things.
I know, so it's so weird, because now, like, I remember hearing Poe Dameron for the first time. You're like, Poe Dameron?
That sounds stupid.
Who's Poe? What's a Poe? I don't know. Who's this guy? I don't know if I like this guy. Now, well, everyone's like, Poe Dameron, son.
Dameron!
Yeah, like everybody loves him. So, and Rey has just blossomed. So, Jyn Erso... I'll be like, hey, I just got the 6-inch figure of Jyn Erso. And you'd be like, of course you did. Because
why would you not?
It's Jyn. I think it's interesting, while we're talking about names, that the names usually tell you a bit about the character. Obviously, Luke Skywalker, he was stuck on a desert planet and he dreamt of walking the skies. Mm. Han Solo... He was a rogue who was very like a lone wolf. Uh-huh. Chewbacca, he chewed tobacco.
He did. That's why he was so brown.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
He was born white.
Yeah.
If you've seen his baby photos, and he was gorgeous, by the way.
He was, yeah.
Just this beautiful snowy white coat, and all that chewing, and he could also talk English, but not with a mouthful
of tobacco.
Of tobacco, that's for sure. So there was that. So I think, it's only fair that we should break down this name. So Jyn, I think she's a rebel. She's obviously a bit raucous. We see her fighting, having punch-up with stormtroopers and stuff. So I think she probably drinks gin. Mm-hmm. Talking about space gin, of course. I think also Jyn sounds a bit like the Jinn, as in a genie. Mm-hmm. So I think like she can grant wishes. She's desirable. It's like, oh, I'm gonna like drink some gin with Jyn, and then she's gonna grant all my wishes like a Jinn.
All right.
And Ursa, it's spelled E-R-S-A, but U-R-S-A would be like a bear. Mm-hmm. Ursa, and you see that she's fighting like a bear. So, this is a roughhousing, rough and tumble character.
So she's a magical alcoholic bear.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
That's the impression I get. And these
Okay.
are first impressions, of course, but that's definitely the impression I get from this trailer. Now, that's the only name I think that we know
Yeah.
at this point.
Yes, I was looking up a few of the other characters on IMDb last night, and they're just as general kind of character types.
The only other character that we recognise in there is Mon Mothma,
Yes.
of course, who gave the rebels their briefing alongside Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi. Now, this is interesting because it's the same actress that played her in Revenge of the Sith. And if you're thinking, I don't remember Mon Mothma in Revenge of the Sith, it's because the scenes were cut, but they are on the Blu-ray. You can watch those deleted scenes, and she did get an action figure. I'm pretty sure. In fact, probably, yeah, look, there it is.
There you go, with a nice little Professor X headset there.
Yeah, on Cerebro, checking out all the Bothans. So that's a bit of fun. Speaking of names again, Mon Mothma is actually derived from, and I've heard the actress explain this herself on a show, Moon Mother.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, right.
So, she's kind of a bit like hippie-ish. But I also noticed that Mon Mothma is an anagram of hot mama. So I think that's pretty good as well.
Yeah,
The
okay.
just being a single N,
Yeah.
which I couldn't fit into the hot mama bit. But yeah, hot mama.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, it gets the point across, so it's not a wasted letter.
I can't remember the actress's name. I think her first name's Genevieve. In the trailer for a second there, I thought it was Eddie Redmayne. And
Well, he's so diverse now. He's really branching out. He's playing men, he's playing women.
yeah, he can
Yeah.
really play just about anything. I actually even thought that for a moment there that he was the Death Star, but then I realised that it was just Ray Winston. So I will blow up your planets. Yeah.
I see all fucking Ewoks. I'm gonna fucking smash their little bitch faces in an eye.
All right, Endor, you're fucked. So there was that. So we saw Mon Mothma.
It was like that was a kind of a oh shit moment because he sort of. It is only a quick kind of glimpse, and she looks so much like the original.
Yeah, it is very good.
Mon Mothma that it's like you kind of have that moment of is that someone new? Is that like a digital kind of them putting the face over somebody else? What's going on there?
There is speculation that the mustachioed dude, who seems to be main dude to
Yes.
Felicity, is Biggs.
Okay.
Although I feel like Mon Mothma, it's so clear that it's Mon Mothma. On IMDb it says Mon Mothma. I feel like if this was Biggs, maybe we'd know about it by now.
Yeah, and if that was going to be like a really big reveal, like they're going to go, oh my god, it's Biggs, and like I would say a good 60% of the audience would just be like, who the fuck's Biggs?
Oh, come on, everyone knows Biggs.
Yeah, but
Darklighter. Where do you think he got the name Darklighter?
I don't know.
Fartlighter.
Yeah, I don't know if Biggs is a big enough thing to kind of
But then
for
it
that
would
to be the big reveal.
makes sense to tie it into one of those rebel
Oh yeah, like
pilots, wouldn't it?
I don't mind him being Biggs, but for them to be cloaking it and shielding it seems a bit.
Well, maybe
weird.
they're just not at that point yet. They
Yeah,
just haven't
maybe.
had the point to come out and say it. And you go, oh, by the way, he's Biggs.
And you're like, okay. If they had fucking Porkins, now that's a big reveal.
I think that could still happen. And this is the other sort of exciting thing about this. Obviously, there's a lot of new characters, all these new rogues. A lot of diverse characters as well. I know that it's already ruffled some internet feathers about being another
Male
female
internet
lead.
feathers, particularly.
And Disney's feminist agenda. I don't even want to discuss that because I just think that's
so
such
dumb. It's
such
so dumb.
fringe gubbins that it's just nonsense. But yeah, we've got Forrest Whitaker, we've got Donnie Yen.
Yes.
It's really great what they're doing with Star Wars at the moment. I think we should be nothing but happy to see lots of different faces. And it's very much a trailer that is focused on the human element. There are no aliens that I think I spotted in that trailer at all. But then again, I don't think there were any aliens in the Force Awakens first trailer
No, I don't
either.
think so.
It was all about introducing you to these key humans
Yep.
and what they were about. So I think they're definitely following suit there. There was something about it that made it feel like maybe it was skewing a little bit older than the regular Star Wars movies as well, in terms of who they were aiming at.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit less... Well, I don't know. I mean, even that first Force Awakens trailer was quite serious and didn't kind of show you a lot.
True.
It feels a little bit less pew pew pew, you know? Like, it does seem like a more of a kind of espionage-y kind of mission spy type thing.
The music's great, and I love that klaxon.
The piano.
Happens,
with the
warning,
siren.
it's so good. So there is a shot of Imperial Guards.
Yes.
There's 2 red Emperor's Guards with a black hooded figure in between them.
Yeah.
That has to be the Emperor, right?
You would think so.
We haven't heard anything about Ian McDiarmid being cast, but I cannot imagine they would not have him. And he appears to
for
be...
a movie to be bridging that gap.
Yeah,
like, you know.
and if you got, like, Mon Mothma back...
Yeah.
And he's in Vader's meditation chamber, so I think that's really interesting. And, of course, no Vader either, and we do know pretty much that Vader's going to be a pretty important part of this film. So my feeling is just how the second, Force Awakens, we got that first trailer, and it was like, there are no original characters in here. Like, because they were all original, as in new characters, but not original trilogy characters. And then the second trailer went, here's your Han Solo, and gave us that bridging thing.
Yep.
I feel like this is going to do the exact same strategy where you go, here are your new people, get used to this, and then they go, and now here's the big person that you wanted to see that's going to bridge this whole thing, that being Vader. So, and assumedly, I mean, you can't have the Empire without the Emperor. I mean, he is
absolutely
working all that.
Yeah.
I just don't know why when... I guess we haven't even thought about him yet. I haven't even thought about the fact that he should be in this movie, and of course he should. Like, he should be the one that's orchestrating all of this. But then why aren't they just coming out and saying, oh, Ian McDiarmid's in this thing? So strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's far enough... well, I guess close enough to the movie that, they're still keeping quite a few secrets.
Yeah.
Stuff started coming out about The Force Awakens ages before.
Yeah, not a lot.
And this is only a few months away.
Not a lot has been leaked from this, really.
And a lot of people, I'm genuinely surprised the amount of people that had no idea this was coming out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who had no clue, and then this trailer came out. They were, what do you mean we're getting another Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
And a lot of people were sharing, little infographics as to where this fits in the whole timeline, and no, you're not going to see BB-8, no, you're not seeing Rey in this one, that's not happening, this is 30 years, even longer than that, 40 years prior to Force Awakens.
Yeah, and I don't think they needed to sort of push that messaging at that point.
There wasn't official
they
Disney
had such a big wave of Force Awakens that it's so nice to suddenly go on. There's, were you worried that you had to wait 2 years till episode 8? Here, why don't you watch this in the meantime
and buy all the toys?
And it looks amazing. It's funny as well because obviously it very much looks like A New Hope. Some of those places are so instantly recognisable, like the Yavin hangar. I thought it was so interesting because 20 years ago nearly now, 19 years ago, in 97 you had Lucas do the special editions with the theatrical release. And here you've got a guy that was going back into his old movies and tinkering with them and sort of changing them. And now, 20 years ahead, we're at this point where it almost feels like director Gareth Edwards is making a film inside an existing film.
Yeah.
He's not augmenting it. He's gone back into that film.
Yeah, and just taking
and
a
the
different
sets
branch.
And the elements, and I thought, I wonder if that's going to become a thing. Because that is so interesting to go, we're not going to remake The Godfather, or we're not going to remake... But
we're looking at the perspective from another character.
Yeah, we're going to go back into that world and that time, and we're going to branch off in another direction. I don't know, I just thought... he's really inhabit, and I can understand. We saw Lucas's frustration with Force Awakens, that idea of perhaps they're not doing anything new. They've made a retro movie, and this goes even further back like that. This is very much walking around inside this existing older film almost. But I don't know, it feels so satisfying to me. I'm very excited about that.
And that's a big feat to go back into, an existing timeline, an existing universe, and still make it feel cohesive to that universe and make it feel like it fits.
And Disney were kind enough to send us the high-res stills of the trailer, and I've been looking through those and really sort of taking it all in. And it just goes to show how much overload, and I mean this in a good way, that we have, because there's so much information coming through. There are certain things that, I take for granted without even thinking about it. Like, we're so, in the last year, been adapted to the new First Order Stormtroopers and their design, and I really love their design. And I didn't even appreciate or recognise watching that trailer for the first time, so I'm watching all the new characters that, of course, we're looking at classic Stormtroopers again. And it's like, shit, we've got a new movie coming out and we're going to be watching these classic Stormtroopers as well. Just when I was ready to throw out my old armour, like, I don't need this piece of shit anymore. It's like, oh no, we're still in that world. And of course, there's a new Stormtrooper design, which is the Black Stormtrooper, which is very Vader influenced. He's got, he appears to have a chest plate, which is very similar to Vader, and there's a thing on the front of the helmet on the nose that kind of looks like Vader's breathing apparatus. They're just this morning, we're recording this on Saturday, they revealed the packaging for the for the Rogue One toys and things, and that is the featured head, is that Stormtrooper. Cool. So I imagine that's Vader's immediate posse that he goes out and fights alongside.
Yeah, and I wonder if people are going to come out and complain as to why Jyn isn't on all the packaging, like they did when Force Awakens came out and complained why Rey wasn't on all the packaging.
They pretty much...
That's not how it works.
Always go the bad guys,
it's never the main character on the packaging, and that's happened for 30 years, so, it's okay, guys.
Yeah,
it's all fine.
Phantom Menace had Maul.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure... I think Sith had Grievous. It's hard for me to remember.
I can't remember.
Really. I think Attack of the Clones would have been either Django or just a clone trooper.
Django, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Django.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
For me, in the trailer, the most unexpectedly kind of striking image for me was that Imperial officer with the silver uniform and cape and everything, and I didn't realise... until probably my second watch, that it was Ben Mendelsohn.
Fellow Australian.
Yeah, I sort of just went, oh, goodness, who is this striking man? And then I realised it was Ben Mendelsohn. I was like, oh, I'm having some really weird, conflicting feelings right now.
It surprised you that you felt that way? It didn't surprise me when I commented back to you, Space Dad, because you seem to have a little bit of a thing for the various Space Dads. I think there's definitely some sort of complex thing happening.
Maybe. I'm just really into the older men with authority. What's with that?
Now, he's an interesting looking character. His insignia on his chest is an admiral, but he's got to be more than just an admiral.
Yeah, not everybody gets a cape.
I would say he's a grand admiral.
Yeah.
Because if we remember, Piet was an admiral.
Yes.
And we talked about names before. Piet is a contraction of piece of shit. So
poor Piet.
This guy was definitely more grandiose than him.
Yes, he was. I think people are drawing... I have seen some people put up his picture against a drawing of... I think it's Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
And they have very similar uniforms.
The Grand Admirals were actually introduced in that.
Expanded universe.
Yeah, Heir to the Empire. Thrawn was one of the first ones that we saw, and they're the ones that get to wear the white uniform. And it looks like they also get to wear gold epaulets on their shoulders in the expanded universe, which you can't see because he's wearing a cape. But I love that shot of him walking with the cape in the water and everything, because it's one of those images where you go, when you first see him, where you think, this looks really great, but this is a standing around in a building costume.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're wearing your white suit and your cape and you're not afraid to walk through the beach in a battle, I think that's pretty
Yeah.
rad because you know you can always get another cape. They got a
Absolutely.
lot of money, those guys. Great shot showing the scale of the Death Star when you realize how tiny those Star Destroyers are compared to the array that comes out.
And the that shadow that comes across is so visually confusing at first. Like you're going, is this
You
a
don't know what
wipe?
you're
Is this
looking at.
what's going on? That was a really cool reveal.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's the shot of Jin Erso, you know, our old pal Jin Erso, where she's sitting in the transport and she's looking out at daylight out the window. I have a feeling that that's going to tie into there was a very early teaser for Rogue One that was shown last year or something at a Comic-Con. Which I've seen the bootleg of, and all it was basically a planet, which I have a feeling is that one with the water and the trees, and some TIE fighters flying over the horizon, and you could see the big silhouette of part of the Death Star through the clouds. So this planet was very, very close to the Death Star. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's arriving on that planet and looking out the window to see that there's this big thing in the sky.
Yeah. And how exciting was to see AT-ATs?
I know.
Oh, I never thought I would be that excited to see fucking AT-ATs.
And the other thing I want to say, we had a lot to say about this 2 minutes. Alan Tudyk's.
Yes.
He is doing a motion capture character. I had erroneously stated in the past that I thought that he would be a Bothan, but as has been pointed out a lot on the net from other people making that same mistake, that of course is the second Death Star that the Bothans died getting the information, not the first. So I have a feeling.
I think he's a on. I don't know if it was on IMDb or some other sort of cast list. He's listed as some kind of like Imperial robot or something.
Yes, okay, that's what I think he is. You know,
Yeah.
there's that shot of them running, and there's the CGI droid running behind them.
Yeah.
Who's sort of skinny and grey.
Yeah.
I think that has to be him.
Okay.
And that's an Imperial robot because on the back it's got the, you know, that 011 looking design,
Yes.
which is on the back of all the Stormtrooper
Yeah,
armours. Yeah,
yeah.
that's on the back
Okay.
of that droid. So I reckon that's Alan Tudyk's because he seems to be running along with the hero characters.
Sounds plausible.
So there you go. That's some food for thought. Christ,
Yeah.
we know some stuff.
How long before the Jyn Erso is Rey's mother thing starts to come out?
Oh yeah. Well, that has been speculated on as
The
well.
timeline would work out,
Yeah,
but it's you
they're
know, probably
British.
a little bit obvious, I guess. But you never know. I was hoping the timeline would work out a bit as well. There was a sort of an expanded universe, but in this Force Awakens sort of new universe comic that was brought out that featured Poe's mother quite heavily. She was a rebel pilot, an X-Wing pilot in the Battle of Endor and previous ones. And I was thinking, oh, maybe we'll have some Shara Bay and we'll just have like so many fucking women fighters and pilots and rebels, and there'll just be so many fucking women in this movie, and then just men will just walk out, those awful men. Not all men. Not all men. Hashtag not all men. Will just roll out of the cinema in their own fluids from just crying.
Oh.
So much tears.
I will roll out of the cinema in my own fluids.
You will. That's gross.
From sweating at how good the performances were. So, yeah, that's a bit of fun. Rogue One, check it out.
Oh, because you weren't going to before.
In cinemas this December. Awesome. Thanks. We'll catch you next time, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
We need a stronger finish than
We
that.
probably do.
Hot mama.